everyone. I hope you are all doing well. Today we're going to do a celebration of life for our dear friend YoYo, David Sansum. You can hear Mulan howling in the background, so I apologize for that. I'm still looking a little rough and it's a lot, but I'm getting through a day at a time and getting better. So once I got home, um, Joe Headley and Cheryl actually contacted me because they wanted me to put up prayer for David. And I was like, okay, is he sick? What's going on? And when I found out he had passed, um, it really gutted me. And I'm sure it's gutted everybody that's here. Um, you just never know when it's going to be your time. So I want to talk a little bit about, and then I'm going to put the link in here. So if you guys want to come in and share a story or just thoughts or whatever it is that you would like to share with everybody, you're welcome to. And then towards the end, I will do some prayer and we will lift him up and thank him for his imprint on us. So as you all know, death is not the end of us. We are all energy, and energy cannot be destroyed. So when we leave our bodies, our human form, we're whole again in the sense that the energy is all back together again, and that's our soul. And it travels on to do other things. I don't know exactly what yet that it does, but it's still around us. Spirit's still around us. And actually, I think David has been probably screwing around with a few of us in the Ghost Dimension family. When I first met David, I was just drawn to his energy, his light. And I thought to myself, who is this young man? And when I got to talk to him, all I could see was the divine energy that was around him, the angelics, the just the spirit land. They were all around him, but it was joy. And that's what David YoYo kind of was made of and shared with the world around us and imprinted on all of us in some way or form. It was joy. I know some of you and many of you have seen when he would pop on and I would do a read for him. And I was always blown away by his energy. He was an amazing healer. He was an amazing friend, and he was an amazing person. And this is the message that he wanted to share with everybody, even when he was here. Don't dwell on the negatives. We all are strong enough to push through them if we allow ourselves to. Be joyful of everything, because everything is a gift. David also was really connected to animals. I think that was only seconded to the love for his family. And many of us in the Ghost Dimension family actually considered him family. He had such big dreams, but what was always awe-striking for me was the fact that no matter how big that dream was, succeed or fail, at least he tried. I think back when he was talking about running for a position in the government where he was, and he had been on the phone with me or messenger phone with me and was telling me that, he doesn't like the way they do things, blah, blah, blah. And he wishes someone was there that could, fix things or help other people. I said, why don't you run? He goes, yeah, I thought about it, but it's a lot. And I go, but if you run, even if you don't make it, you at least tried and you know what you're doing and what you could do the next time. So he did. He set a goal and he achieved it. He went around to people in his community in his chair, in his little wheelchair, and went to each door and talked to people about winning or voting for him. He did it. At the end, he didn't get into the office that he was running for. However, he did it. He was proud of himself. All of us here were proud of him. And it's just, you have to remember, I guess, that once we go, those imprints still live with us. We may not be in our human form, but those imprints are there. And I'm sure he's watching over everybody. Okay, I'm going to bring, you ready, Cook?
Yep.
How you doing? I'm going to leave you
Right.
on the screen, okay? And you can talk, okay? And then I'll pull myself up when you're done. And please know that everybody in the Ghost Dimension family love you and send you positives because I know he was really a good mate to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how
Um,
about I'll just stay with you. Talk to
yeah.
us, okay?
Yeah. Just like to say it's not the same without them. Um, and I always thought of him as my brother. Um, I even said that to him, and we were both actually thinking of getting tattoos. Like I get a Yoda one, and he was going to get the Cookie Monster. So, and I was thinking that now, since he's mad with Meatloaf, he'll probably be rocking away with meat Meatloaf, singing all his songs with him.
Well, somebody's making their entrance. Sorry about that, guys.
No, no, that's fine. That's all I'd like to say is that now I feel lost on a Sunday since I always used to go up to his for tea. So it's still still a wee bit weird that that I can no longer do that anymore.
It's something that we have to remind
Yeah,
ourselves of, you know, people that we love and we care about. And I
mhm,
know you guys had a really big bond. David
yeah,
talked to me about it as well, and you guys, that was, you know, you were connected like that. And he actually
yeah,
had said, yeah, he's like my brother from another mother, right? And
yeah,
yeah, and he just loved life so much. So
mhm,
when I would see you guys post about things that you did together, or like when you
yeah,
met Cindy Pinkham was over
mhm,
there with you guys, and he was just so joyful.
yeah,
I knew he had problems. I knew he had
mhm,
issues at home, like when he was getting his home repaired, and
yeah,
I remember him having uh, things going on with the cat, and he was like ready to pull his hair out because the cat was like everywhere and not doing
yeah,
what she was supposed to or would get away from him. And
uh-huh,
but he always met it with positives. And
yeah,
I think that's what the biggest take is going to be for you is the
uh-huh,
imprint he left on you.
yeah,
Um, and he's watching over you. I know that. Didn't
mhm.
you say the other day you had? I think I you messaged me. There was orbs or something that were there
Yeah,
with you.
it's
Or
that time when Sean asked everyone to raise a glass. I did that. I looked at my door and I spotted a wee, like, orb. And then one night I was lying in my bed. I spotted a white light by my bed, and then I felt weight on my bed, and no one else was there. So it was probably him sitting on my bed, letting him know he's here.
well, I know and I feel for fact
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
he is around you and his
Yeah.
family and all
Mhm.
of us tapping in. I
Yeah.
tuned in the day that Sean and Bex, the day we everybody had found out,
Uh-huh.
and all those technical issues that they
Yeah.
were having with the stream that day were things that normally don't happen. And I sat there and just laughed because all I
Uh,
could see was him screwing with Sean,
yeah.
right? But that's who he was. And
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I met him.
Mhm.
And I'm so glad that you had him in your life because he's
Yeah.
just a force.
I knew him for about 30 years.
Brother, family.
Yeah, we fell out, but we became friends again. I thought, what's the point of bearing a grudge?
But we pushed through it, right? And
Yeah.
that's what happened. And you guys formed this amazing, amazing bond. And
Mhm.
again, it's not easy for us that are left behind in our human form.
Yeah.
But for me, and I want to remind everybody, remember, he's already imprinted on us.
Uh-huh.
He's with us. And they can be 50 million places at once in
Yeah.
spirit form, in this energy form. And
Mhm.
I just know he's watching over you,
Yeah.
and you know, he's not happy 100% the way he left. And
Uh-huh.
like it was short. I feel shortchanged. I don't know
Yeah.
about you, but I feel shortchanged.
Mhm.
So unexpected. And
Yeah.
I have no words other than that. So, but
Uh,
please
Plus, he
know,
always used to tell me his problems when he used to fall out with his family. He'd always tell me about it.
but that was the
Yeah.
safe bond that you had with him. And I'm
So,
sure you felt the
yeah.
same way. You could tell him anything, yeah?
Yeah, since I always told him you might fall out with your family, but they're with you forever.
100%. 100%. I just know he's whole again. I just
Yes.
know he's watching out for everybody.
Uh-huh.
And it's just joy bringing to all of us because of him.
Yes.
All right. Well, I
Uh-huh.
love you, and please know you can reach out to me anytime. And
Okay.
if
Will do.
okay, and thanks for coming on and sharing a little bit of you and Dave. Okay?
No problem.
Thank you, babe.
Okay.
Yeah. So I remember, and I'm sure all of you do, when I was doing readings on Tuesdays for everybody, David had contacted me and wanted to know more about how readings came about. So we worked a little bit behind the scenes, and then I said, "Come on, we're going to start." And he came on, and he was a little nervous at first, but man, every other time that we had him on to do reads for y'all, he was good. He was accurate. He enjoyed doing it. And again, I stress so highly when I look at him, or he'd be on here with me, all I could see was joy. All I could see was divine energy surrounding him. And by divine, I mean, you know, angelic, you know, the higher powers, the spirit lands. They were always holding him in such a loving, admiring way. And that came out from him and how he treated other people. All right, so I'm going to go down the list here, which is full. And if anybody else has anything to add, I'm going to put the link in again. Please jump on. I have no problems with you coming to share. I am going to look at some of the stuff here. Um, his meatloaf, you know, he loved music. Not only the modern music that's out, but he was a diehard Harley fan and a diehard Meatloaf fan. And he was just, like I said, it's just any. anything that would bring him joy, and it brought other people joy to have him do it. The meatloaf thing was great. Um, Let me take a quick look here again. I want to look. I see everybody saying hi to everybody. Yeah, Cheryl, this is right. Everybody, not everybody. We can't make it over for the funeral, but I want this kind of to be a thing that they can look back on. I wish I could be there. Um, Let me look down again. Everybody's lighting candles for him, which is amazing. He's such a light. He's such a light and such a joy. I remember too that um, he wanted crystals, so I got him some crystals from Carrie Greenaway, and he liked them so much he went back and he got some, and he was all about those crystals and the skulls. I got him a skull crystal, and he just worked the magic with them, and it was just inspiring, awe inspiring. So I want everybody to actually hang on one second here. He was very genuine to everybody, and I'm just gonna go down. Hi Monica, how are you? Um yeah. Okay, let me go down one more time. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to ask you all to do right now, and then I'm going to put up a short film I put together. Oh, Miss Cindy's here. Let me find out what Miss Cindy has to say today. Hello, Miss Cindy. How are you?
Hi, Bear. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you real well. Yep, and I see the candle behind you as well.
Right. Okay. Am I on the studio?
Yeah, you're in the studio on live, my
Look,
dear.
I can't see you, basically. I don't know what's happened to the screen.
Oh, I don't know, but you can hear me talking, so I thought you have some stories to share that you can share. Tell us when you met David.
um, I'm stuck. I'm literally, my mind is stuck. It's just not functioning at the moment. It's like, um, it's half reality and not half reality. When saying to yourself, is it actually happening? You know, it's like, um, it's it's just like it's quite it's when I first met YoYo, was on the YouTube. You know, I found him quite comical. Really, he was quite funny, especially with Dave, the pair of them used to joke at each other on there. Dave would be saying, "Shut up, Dave," you know. Um, then he will give you his messages and Facebook links and everything, and then the amazing stories and the histories and things he wanted to do and where to go. And each of us all had the same thing connected with him. And he was just interested with everything, you know, he was never fussy. And um, it was just so privileged to meet him in Inverness. He's just such a smashing guy, so laid back, so content, smiling, um, such a joke, full of life, you know, um, just something you just can't understand why people get taken away from, you know, from you guys. You know, it's just something you can't understand why they have to go. Um, it was a lot of things, you know. We could, everybody like me and everybody else on the G family, we could spend hours talking about history and things of music. Um, it's quite sad in a way, you know. It's just something you got to come to terms, I suppose. Um, it's just complete. I'm just completely fuddled muddled about it. It's just I'm just concentrating, getting things done, and get my suitcase done, and just be so pleased to be there, and uh, and give everyone their messages from the G families as well. Um, and plus on there as well to support Dave, bless him, because it's not nice to be alone. Um, so I'll be happy to see Dave as well and have a good old chat and have a laugh. All the funny things he does. Shame, because I was going to come and see David actually, YoYo, in June to make arrangements to meet him in Inverness again, and we was going to see if we can go to the um, Wallace's monument and all that sort of thing. It was all sorts, but it was just like a shock, really, in a way, when you've been talking to someone about it like a week before it all happened, and it's just something. But I've got my message really to David YoYo to me is thank you for letting us into your life and sharing all your emotions, your loving life that you allow us to share with you. And we'll meet again, and I'll see you when I get there. Basically, that's what I've got. We've got to all be missing you.
I wonder sometimes, this past week, I've kind of looked at some stuff and thought back when he interacted with us on the shows, or when he came on live. And I remember the last time um, he was on the live, and I kept telling him, and every time I saw him, I would see this divine energy around him, protecting him, watching over him. But I almost get a sense now, looking back, hindsight, right? That perhaps they were preparing him for this. So it would be a gentle crossing over of his spirit, and that he would be within his own spiritual family, I guess would be a way to put it. And I really wonder about that. I sat a few days and just kind of pondered that, like, when we were seeing him and he was engaging with everybody, because he was always so positive and
Oh yeah,
handicapped. I didn't consider him, I didn't even think about that with him. He was just, if he had issues, I mean, he had mentioned a few of the housing issues and things and some of the health issues was dealing with. But for the most part, even that was kind of positive, like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll get through it, you know. And I wish more people were like him. I miss, I wish people who don't have issues with them, their health, would be more like him. Because you think about it, if anyone has a reason to be negative, it will be a person that has handicaps that are major. But that wasn't who he was. And I just think he was a great gift to all of us that met him and interacted with him and got imprinted with him and his energy. And I'm so grateful for that. And I think all of us are here. And I'm a little jealous of you, Cindy, because you actually got to meet him in person.
I know, I
And
know.
I just all I want to do is give you a hug and
Oh,
put
bless
the
you.
monster a
Yeah,
hug.
I want to give
And
everybody a big hug,
yeah,
like give
I
you
just
all.
I just do. And that's like from him. But I do think he's being mischievous upstairs and he's messing with some of us. So
Oh, he's looking down on us, laughing his head off at us, really.
yeah.
Sorry, but all I can remember is his lovely smile all the time. He's always thinking as if to say, I'm not going anywhere, even if I'm up there, I'll be sitting here laughing at you all lot, thinking, what the hell are you sitting there all sad for,
I know, right?
But he never showed any pain, he never showed anything. He never
No.
asked for help. He never asked for anything.
Some of
All
the
he,
things that he actually went out and did, and over the past, say, 4 years, 5 years, I was just like, that is so awesome. He never let his handicap define him. And I think that's what a lot of people, a lesson that we all can learn is don't let our past pain or our health issues or things that are kind of negative within our, don't let that define us. And he personified that. I mean, to me, he was larger than life. I just looked at him and I loved to interact with him because of that, if that makes sense. And
yeah, I understand what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying. It's just still got that bit of part in your brain thinking, is it really literally true? What's going on at the moment?
yeah,
It's
it
like
gutted
my
us, right?
brain's just going round in circles, knowing I know I'm going to the funeral. I know it's definitely happening, but you still got the other half. It's just still not sinking.
Yeah,
That's that's how poor old Dave feels. Bless
yeah,
him. They've been together for years, haven't they? And I just feel so sorry for Dave. Um, no, I can't wait to go up and give him a big hug.
yeah.
To say
I
you're
just
not
yeah,
alone.
and I just think, yeah, I think we all need to be supportive of him, and
Yeah,
that's why I told him, and I know David's listening, so it's like any of us here in the Ghost Dimension family, you can ring any of us, and we'll
well,
listen.
David's always said to me on the messages, he's got the G family. He's not alone. He knows we'll all be there for him. And that's nice of him to say that. He's got a family here as well.
Yeah,
So, but thanks ever so much, Spare, for listening anyway, and thank you for doing a lovely video.
okay.
Um,
All right. Well, Kara wants to jump on for a minute, so
Thank
let me
you,
get
Bear.
her. And I love you. Okay,
Thank
love
you,
you,
Bear.
Jen.
Love you too.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. And what? I cut you off.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. I can see myself now.
Okay. All right. I love you.
I
I
just
love
pressed
you.
that button. It's just
Okay.
right.
And I got her again. Hi, Miss Carol. What do you have to share with us
Hello, sweetheart.
about Yo?
Um, yeah, I don't have a lot to say apart from, well, I miss him. I still want to go to message him. Because we used to talk about Meatloaf, we used to talk about music, we used to talk about like his nieces and my grandkids. Yeah, we used to chat all the time, and I miss him. When I heard, I was like, because the first thing I knew was Carla was collecting money for flowers, and I was like, what's happened? And then I saw it, I was just like, I couldn't believe it. I honestly couldn't believe it.
It gutted me. I was just back from the hospital, and the next day was the first day I really got on social media. And in my feed, his page came up, and it had RIP on it, and I was like, "What the heck's this?" And then Joe Headley got in touch with me and was asking for prayer, and then I couldn't get him back on, so I called Cheryl Headley, and she told me, and I just lost it. I then later talked with Sean and Bex, and they were actually just calling him to ask him to cover my Tuesday for
Oh
readings.
no.
Hadn't gotten back to them. And I had told Cheryl, I said, when I got off the phone with her, I said, call Sean and Bex. I don't have the phone number, and he's not going to answer Messenger right now. So she got hold of him, and then they got hold of me, and it was like, just like, it's not real.
Yeah.
I guess that's the best way to think of it. It's just not real to me. So, but anyway, I'm glad you popped on. I got Mel downstairs here in the studio. I'm gonna bring her on. Okay. So
Yeah, no problem, darling. Love you loads.
love you. Okay, Miss Mel, how are you, baby girl?
I'm doing okay, you?
Yeah, I'm doing. I'm alive and pushing through stuff, a day at a time. So you
Yeah,
got some stories or something you want to share about David?
yeah, I have. I think the last time I spoke to YoYo was on New Year's Eve with Cookie on video call, and YoYo used to wind me up saying moist, 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 and I don't like the word. He used to make me laugh and chuckle and everything. But last week I done a song for him, and he loves. I know he definitely loved Meatloaf. I love Meatloaf too. So that one is the song I done last week for him. Heaven Could Wait. And that. So I thought I dedicate, and I gave it to Cookie, and I gave it to one of his best friends, Matilda, as well. I sent her the video so she could feel what I'd done for him, and that she made me for him. When I heard the news, it was absolutely in shock. He used to make everyone laugh, Didi family laugh. His carvings are spot on. He used to give me reading as well. He was absolutely amazing man. I wish I could have met him.
I was so proud of him for doing that because he's like, I don't know. The first time I had him on, he's like, I don't think I was that good. I go, you're fine. You just have to allow yourself to grow into it. So I was just so proud. Again, something that he wanted to learn to do and just basically did it. Nothing stopped him. It didn't matter. He did it. I know we're all gutted. It's hard. I love you very much. Thanks for popping in.
I've got my candidate for purple, and I'm trying to get some purple and orange round some points. I'm getting orange and purple parts for him.
Okay. I love you, and I'm going to put Philippa on, and thanks for popping on.
You're welcome.
Bye. Okay, Miss Philippa, I haven't seen you in a long time. Hello, girl.
Hello, long time no see. I hope you're recuperating as much as you can,
A
and
day at a
feeling
time.
very healing as much as
Thank
one
you.
can, despite the news of blessed David or YoYo. And like everyone else said, he made us all laugh. I didn't have much interaction as such, but with, again, like Mel just said, his card readings are spot on, just like your card readings have always been spot on. And he was just a character and a half as such, And
He had a great sense of humor.
I was thinking the other day, Dave's been been a bit quiet on social media, and then I suddenly went in the group chat. I was like, oh, okay. And then obviously Cookie. I can't do Cookie's actual name.
David.
Yes, I guess I'm confused. And
David.
Yeah, should be easy to remember. But and he obviously said what happened, and I was like, I was absolutely gobsmacked. I couldn't believe it. It's absolutely floored me. God bless his soul. He always puts a smile on everyone's face on a rainy day, as such, and he'll be in my prayers and thoughts. I'll be lighting a candle later for him once I finish cooking my dinner, and that's going at the moment. But he'll.
Yeah, it gutted me, and at the end, after I do prayer, I got a small video to put up for him for everybody.
Yeah,
and I can tell you, I had to stop like 4 or 5 times when I was putting it together because I just couldn't. It's not real. I was gutted, and I'm still gutted.
I still feel it's quite surreal as well, that it still doesn't feel like it's actually happened as such. Mm-hmm. And then obviously I've had a recent loss within the last year or so, and even now, that's so many months on, like even 5-6 months on, it still doesn't feel real. I still want to pick up the phone and call, and it's the same.
Well, now though with David, and Yo told us this all the time. When I go, I'm going to come back and haunt everybody.
Yeah,
I guarantee you he will be.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
he's the character and a half, right?
Yeah. Is that
All right.
Mango I can hear in the background? Mango
No, actually, they're quiet right now. You hear the Keats and Phoenix is back. I had to lock him up. He's on a timeout. So
Oh dear.
yeah, timeout for him. Anyway, well, thank you for coming
Thank
on so
you.
much. And I got Cheryl here, and she wants to say something. Okay,
Yeah,
thanks, Miss.
all right. Lots of love. Catch up.
Love to you.
Hi,
All
Beth.
right, hi, babes.
Yeah, just want to say that such a shame about YoYo. He was such a gentleman. He was such a friend to many as well, and he always had time for you. It didn't, like, as you know, he had a lot going on with himself, with his personal life and things, but he never failed to be there for everybody else. He was a true gentleman with a heart of gold. And yeah, one of the stories about me and David was he told me about the time it was snowing really bad up in Scotland, and he was in his chair and he ended up falling out of it. And I shouldn't have laughed really, but I couldn't help myself. And we had such a laugh about that, honestly. Like, he was a true character, a real true character, and he will be very, very missed.
And he always, I mean, he just included everyone. And even when stuff that happened like that, he could laugh at himself. He could, I really just think he loved so large.
Yeah.
And I think that that's why it's all encompassing for all of us.
Yeah.
Because he was part of us, you know, he's like, and what people, I made that statement to Sean when I talked to him after this happened, and I talked to you, and you heard me. I was gutted. I was gutted for days, and and like I said, I was putting that video together for him. You guys will see in a little bit, and I had to stop, and then I'd walk away, and then I'd come back maybe an hour later, and I'd do a little bit more, and I had to stop because I miss him, and even though I know that he's good, you know, and I told Sean, I don't think everybody realizes until this occurred how much we all interact, that we are actually family.
Yeah.
It's a chosen family. I don't care how many miles we're away, we can always get in touch with each other. And I think what everybody's telling us just proves this. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that our friends that we choose are our real soul family. So sometimes you're born into a family and it's not good, you know, but this GD family, honestly, it's the best family ever. And I just can't believe that he's not here anymore. It's so sad. So
no,
sad.
but he's going to be messing with Sean. He better not mess with me too much, but he's going to mess with Sean.
he did that day, didn't he? He messed with all the equipment.
I was like, yeah, that's not me. I'm watching, but I was laughing because I thought, yeah. And Sean had mentioned about Yo's teeny tiny legs, you know, and Yo always laughed about it. I mean, he laughed about it. He says those teeny tiny legs are still gonna kick your butt. And I think that's what was happening that day when and he's like, all this crazy stuff going on. I'm just shaking my head. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks.
I want to say that I hope he rests easy with the angels.
He's not going to rest easy.
I
always laugh because people say, "Oh, rest in peace. I hope you're quiet. You can relax." It's like, hey, he's busy, or he's been busy. I think that he's out there doing his magic from the other side. I don't think he's resting at all. Yeah. I think he's happy. I think he's whole, but I think he's going to be messing with a lot of us in the days ahead. So, you just got to love it. All right. Well, your brother's here, so I got to take you down and bring him up. Okay.
Take care.
All right, babes. Thank you. All right. Joe.
Hi,
hi, babes.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, just a quick one from me. Yeah, had a right laugh about trying to get one of these jackets. Spent hours trying to find him one, but no one would fit. So he said, maybe I need to lose some weight. So we cracked up laughing about that. Yeah, he was a good guy. Not a bad soul. And he
I
will be
don't know
missed.
why things happen when they do sometimes. Definitely this time I was extremely frustrated with it. I've actually talked to the divine energies and had a few words for them about YoYo and about what happened with me. And, you know, everything for a reason. And I just think that they needed him upstairs more than we needed him here because he can still interact with us. And I
Yeah.
think, like I told Cheryl, I believe 100% he's already started messing with Sean. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
A great guy. He will be missed. And they found it hilarious when me, Cheryl, and Lee was out investigating, and we went live. And
Okay.
they went, and I said, ding ding dong. So that one's for the yo-yo.
All
Yeah,
right.
if he messaged me afterwards and they were laughing about it, he said, you're so funny. I said, yeah, but not as funny as you are. So yeah, he'll be missed.
He will be. Thanks for
God
popping
bless
on.
you, yo-yo.
Thanks for popping on. Okay.
No problem.
Love you, babe.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So, what I'd like to do now is, unless someone else wants to join us for a few minutes, is I'd like to do some prayer for his family and friends that are left behind because I know he's good. Okay. All right. So, if everybody will just take a breath. I call to the sacred winds to carry my words, to the Creator God and the ancestors of the north, the south, the east, the west, above, below, and within. I call the sacred winds to carry my words to the winged ones, the four-leggeds, the plant people, the crystal keepers, the angelic realm, to my brother Christ, to all our spirit family and friends that have walked before us and with us. We stand humbly before you and ask that you bring healing in infinite amounts to all of David, YoYo, family and friends. Assist them in the days ahead while they go through this grieving process. David was larger than life and brought joy to many people. He will be missed, but I also know he is in that divine energy and looking over us all. So I thank all that have assisted us today. And most of all, I send love. We send love and appreciation for the imprint that David left on all of us. Aho. All right, so I'm going to play a little video for y'all, and you guys have a great day. And thank you for sharing with me here today for y'all.